What up, though, y'all? It's Chris, broadcasting from the D. We got more news here in the city of Detroit. This time it's an update with Malik Beasley, former Detroit Pistons guard. And this sucks, man. He's been apparently evicted from his downtown apartment. So here's an article from the Detroit News. Let's read it and see what's happening, man. What's the update? It says Malik Beasley evicted in Detroit as money problems mount amid FBI gambling investigation. Now, let me go ahead and say this to you guys. Malik Beasley, since stuff originally became public, he's not admitted to anything. He's actually been putting on a pretty brave face. He's posted videos of him going to the gym, working out. He's been, making other little posts like he's unbothered or whatever. Me personally, I wouldn't be doing this, but this is how he's choosing to handle it. He made a comment recently about his goal is to basically end up next season re-sign with the Detroit Pistons. As of right now, that does not look likely. The Pistons, like a couple days after, maybe even not a couple days, maybe like a day and a half after news of the possible gambling stuff came out, they signed Duncan Robinson from the Miami Heat. They signed Duncan Robinson, who's a sniper. That seemed to effectively fill in for Beasley. Now, I hope that he fits here as well as Beasley did, because he fit very well in the Miami system they had going on there, the Heat culture. He's no stranger to being in Michigan. He went to U of M, played for U of M. So I'm hoping that the Pistons, he seems in good spirits about being here. As I said, he's not a stranger about being in Michigan. He's not a stranger to the weather. I'm hoping that he fits on the Pistons as well as Beasley did. But as far as him saying his goal is to end up on the Pistons next season, sign with them to continue on, I don't know where he's getting that from, man. I mean, everybody can see clear as day the Pistons really not trying to mess with him like that. They not saying anything disparaging about him, but we all know here in Detroit what's happening with him. So with that out of the way and said, let's go ahead and get into the article. Former Detroit Pistons guard Malik Beasley was evicted from his high-rise apartment in downtown Detroit on Wednesday, more than 1 month after the Detroit News exclusively revealed. That's right, I was reading the Detroit News article when that came out. Exclusively revealed he was coping with an FBI gambling investigation and more than $8 million worth of financial problems. So, I mean, it's not illegal to be in, financial straits, to be under duress financially, but when the accusation against you is gambling, this doesn't look good. You get what I'm saying? So the eviction order was filed in the 36th District Court. That's literally up the street from me, man. I can walk there right now. 2 months after Beasley was sued for failing to pay rent at the Stock. The historic high-rise apartment building in downtown Detroit is owned by Bedrock Detroit, the real estate arm of business empire built by Dan Gilbert, who owns the NBA's Cleveland Cavaliers. For those of you who don't know, Dan Gilbert does a lot here in Detroit. Um, he owns the Cleveland Cavaliers, but honestly, I'm surprised that he never made a move to get his hands on the Pistons. Or maybe at the time that he was trying to get a hold of a team, because he's had the Cavaliers for some time. I think at the time that he was trying to get a hold of a team, the Pistons may not have been up for sale. So there could be that. But in a perfect world, for as much as he does in Detroit, him owning the Pistons wouldn't have been a surprise. I think he would have loved to have had that in his portfolio. I don't think you can own two teams at once, though, because that's like a conflict of interest. Because how are you doing for one team full force and another team too? And what happens if they have to compete against each other? How does that work? So, yeah, I don't think you can ever own two teams. Beasley, 28, has been sued twice by the landlord this year for failing to pay a collective $21,500 in rent. He's a free agent since the Pistons pulled back on a 3-year, $42 million offer. news emerged about the FBI investigation. So yeah, 21,500 is how much he owes total. I don't know how many months he was behind, but please believe me when I tell you, living here in downtown Detroit ain't cheap. I can easily see him racking up 21,500 in back rent due because he ain't able to come up with the ends. So I get it, man. As someone that lives in downtown, I totally understand, especially the spot he was living in downtown, man. Beasley failed to respond to the second lawsuit that accused him of failing to pay. Okay, so here was his it says $7,355. So I don't know if that's what he was paying monthly or what, but based on the amount he was evicted for, that does sound like this amount times three. So do with that as you will. Playing in the NBA and you can't cover $7,300 a month rent. That's tough, man. Like really, because I know people right now that could pay that with no issues. And they not pro athletes. They just people that's getting to the bag, whatever. So yeah, that shouldn't be a rent that you struggling with when you done made millions of dollars, man. I'm just saying, boy. It says the case is pending in front of the 36th District Judge Andrea Bradley Baskin, who was the target of a separate FBI investigation involving bribery and fraud. Wait. Let's go over that again. The case is pending in front of 36th District Judge Andrea Bradley Baskin, who was the target of a separate FBI investigation involving bribery and fraud. Bro, what is going on here in the Motor City? The sitting judge who is presiding over his case. Am I getting this right here? The sitting judge over his case is the target of an FBI investigation involving bribery and fraud. Bro, what is going on here in the Motor City, man? For real. And in case you guys were wondering where it was Beasley was staying at, I'm going to show y'all. Let me get that ad out of the way. This here is the David Stott building here. It's a historic high-rise sitting right here in the heart of downtown. It's a great spot to live, man. I mean, but honestly, all them places sitting right there in the heart of downtown are like you living, all right, for real. If you got one of them places, you living. Beasley's lawyer, Steve Haney, could not be reached for comment early Thursday. Social media posts in recent weeks indicate Beasley has been training in Miami and traveling in Europe. Beasley alluded to the gambling investigation in a Snapchat video posted Wednesday. I've been grinding my ass off. I've got this new chip on my shoulder of like, F the world, Beasley said. My back against the wall. Nobody believes in me. Man, maybe he just saying that because he can't say the city of Detroit didn't believe in him, man. This city, that's why for Detroiters, especially Pistons fans, that's why this whole thing is so disappointing, because he was so instrumental in the season that they had. They broke a record. All right, they made history this last season. They were the first team to triple their wins from what they had a previous season. So they had a historic low the previous season and making history in the worst way. Then they bounced back and they had a season where they scored or they won 3 times as many games as the previous season. Never been done before. That's the type of history that I'm talking about making, man. So nobody here didn't appreciate him, and I'm sure he knows that. That's why he wanted to stay here. When the trade deadline was coming up last season, he said, please don't trade me. I want to be here. So you don't want to be somewhere that you're not happy. You don't want to be somewhere that you're not welcome, that you're not being embraced. So I don't even know why he's saying that. That could just be some, I don't know. I don't know why he would say stuff like that, man. But it says, I will be better than last year, he continued. I'm staying humble. I'm still getting my work in. I have to. I got to be prepared to either come back to the Pistons. So see, there he is. There's some other teams interested as well. He's made it very known, though, his preference is to come back to the Pistons. But, they was offering him a bag, man. The timing of this couldn't have been any worse. They was offering him a bag. If only he would have signed on the dotted line first. Imagine being this close. You in dire financial straits. You this close to signing a 3-year, $42 million contract extension. That's about to save your life. And then this all comes out and the Pistons is like, yeah, I don't know about that. So they ended up signing Duncan Robinson 3 years for $45 million. That's why I said they basically gave Duncan Robinson Beasley's contract. So I don't see Beasley returning to the Pistons. Would I love to see that? Absolutely. He was great for the team, but I just don't see that happening, man. Says the rent squabble is the smallest of Beasley's money problems, which in recent years has included failing to pay a celebrity barber, a lender, a marketing firm, and a dentist. The dentist started garnishing Beasley's paychecks from the Pistons in February. So, yeah, man, just, again, it's not illegal to be in bad financial shape, but when a gambling scandal is what you facing, this shows possible motive for why you would have been doing what you was doing. Beasley, who signed NBA contracts worth more than $59 million during his career, has not been charged with wrongdoing amid an ongoing federal investigation focused on wire fraud, gambling, and prop bets. Imagine the mishandling of funds that one must do to earn $59 million up to this point in their career, and they can't pay a $7,300 rent. I mean, really, like, imagine that. Imagine fumbling that type of money. You earn $59 million up to this point, and you can't pay your barber, and you can't pay your rent. That's rough, man. It's a gambling investigation involving Malik. No criminal charges have been issued. It's nothing but an investigation, and Malik is entitled to be to the presumption of innocence. That's what his lawyer previously told the news. And they go on to say this, which they said before in the previous article, but I'll go ahead and repeat it. Last year, Beasley signed a 1-year, $6 million contract with Detroit and played a crucial role in the team's resurgence. He finished in second place in Sixth Man of the Year voting, averaging 16.3 points. Yeah, dude will be coming off the bench like lighting it up. On 41.6% shooting from three-point, that is big. Beasley was also one of 3 players who finished the regular season with at least 300 three-pointers made, joining Anthony Edwards and Steph Curry. Crazy, man. Yeah, dude, he was a great contributor. And it's a shame that things have played out the way that they have. But all that stunting and stuff that people be doing online, trying to portray a certain life, a lot of times they're broke. Pro athletes and entertainers are not exempt from that. A lot of the stuff that they doing, they're keeping up an image and they're broke as well. So that's the update here, man. I'm going to go on and leave it there. Hit me with a like if you like what I do. Hit me with a sub if you like what I do. Hit me them comments. I'm going to holler at y'all. Peace.